Hey folks, how's it going? So news, I cut my hair. So I really couldn't, grow out my hair. I quit midway. Unfortunate, but it was really hard to control. You can probably guess from some of the vlogs that I did that I was just suffering. So I'm glad I cut my hair. I feel really refreshed, and yeah, so that's what's going on in my life. And these. So these are the Elac Vela BS 403s. Now this is the bookshelf version. There's the floor standard, the 407 and 409. And the reason I mentioned the 407 and 409 in a 403 review is because I really want to review these. Hearing what these can do really made me think, how better is the 407 or the 409? It's rare for me to think that way because I usually love bookshelf speakers for their ability to disappear and just the right amount of space around them, and imaging. But to really understand what these speakers sound like, you have to hear it for yourself. But I'm just gonna briefly explain. This is their new German design, made in Norway, and they are made with the jet tweeters. So this is their new jet tweeter, folded jet tweeter, very famous. A lot of people who knows Elac will understand that this has been a generation of designs that brought joy to many listeners all over the world. And then we have the 5¼ inch woofer, and this is also very special, aluminum, very quick. Now, I'm gonna go into the sound quality because overall it's a very sexy design. It's like straight out of Star Trek or something like that. Kind of reminds me of the Sennheiser HD 800S in a way. The way it looks is just very futuristic. Now, they come in white. I don't know about that one. I really like the black look, and just overall, just sexy. So the port is at the bottom, but it's not at the bottom of the base. Let me show you what I mean. So it's not like there's no port at the bottom, okay? But there's a port here, this slot, okay? And then the port extends down in here, right? So it's not a slot going in this way, but it's going down this way, okay? If that makes any sense. But it's slotted at the back. Now what this does is really, it allows you to move the speakers out of the room or towards the back wall without much problems. It's much less room sensitive than the previous generations of Elac speakers that I've listened to and experimented with. Now, to be 100% honest with you, and Elac may not like this, I was never really a big fan of the jet tweeter design. Overall, the previous designs were a little bit shrill to my ears and a little bit uncomfortable to my ears. Sure, they were quick, they were very open, and certainly I could see that some people may have liked it, but the previous generations never was something that I would personally own. Now here, this is a different story. Now with the new waveguide, the stereo imaging has improved a lot, and what was really good before now is even better, and it's kind of even hard to imagine that. Now with these speakers, I was driving it with the Billy amp, as well as with the Shinai, and a lot of the amplifiers, Parasound, Hagel, and all the stuff that I tried out with was most of the times a phenomenal match. So in terms of amplification, it's not that finicky, but you do want to pair it with something of at least about, in my experience, 50, 80 watts. And that way you will get a good force out of the bottom end. Now, talking about the bottom end, because I'm going to make this a little bit more easy to understand. So let's start with the bottom end and then go up, okay? So starting with the bottom end, I found that the bass was very quick, very dynamic, but I could see why some people may want to add a subwoofer. Now, mind you, if you add a subwoofer, you want something very quick to match the jet tweeter and the fast bass of the speaker. And then moving on to the mid-range, the mid-range was very smooth, very fatigue-free, a little bit forward presentation, a little bit more intimate presentation than other speakers that I've played around with. For example, Bocard Audio, some of the KEF speakers. It's a little bit more forward than those kind of speakers. This brought us very, very great joy when it came to vocal presentations, especially female vocals. Now, extending into the high frequencies, this is where it gets interesting. Up until the mid frequency, there's no shoutiness, there is no type of fatigue whatsoever. I could be listening to the speaker all day and there will be no fatigue. Now, reaching into the high frequency, I was fully expecting some high frequency to hit me and kind of make it shrill for me, but that didn't happen. The high frequency was very extended, very airy. In fact, one of the airiest speakers I've ever heard in the studio so far. The high frequency was just absolutely amazing. And that's really, really hard to do in a speaker, to make a high frequency that airy, that three-dimensional, that open, that sparkly, with no hint of brightness whatsoever, no hint of fatigue whatsoever in the high frequency. That is the benefit of the speaker. That is the strong point of the speaker. And I cannot emphasize this enough. It's amazing. This almost made me forget the other benefits of having this speaker. The quickness in the bass, the mid-range, all that was really, really good. Don't get me wrong, but the high frequency was so good that I almost forgot to even include that in this review. That's how good it is. The high frequency, if you're a fan of having that airy sound, this speaker will blow your mind. Especially when you pair it up with tube amplifiers, it becomes really, really three-dimensional. Now, mind you, you need to use a little bit more power, so 50 watts, 80 watts is good. But if you go up into like 100 and 120 watts push-pull design tube amplifiers, the high frequencies really, really opened up even more, and it is just a phenomenal, glorious experience. You have to hear these speakers. It is incredible. So the sound stage and the holographic presentation on the speaker is phenomenal, like I said. How about imaging? Now, well, I don't know about the floor standards because I haven't heard them yet, but because these are bookshelf speakers, they just image fantastically. They just disappear. And the reason I like the black color is because you don't even see them. When you turn off the light and you kind of sit down and close your eyes, you don't even feel that there are speakers there. It is such a wonderful experience. In fact, the way my girlfriend explained it was that there's stuff floating around, and she really liked these speakers. Even compared to some expensive speakers that we have in here for review, she really preferred these speakers. Now, these speakers, mind you, does come with quite a bit of a price tag. I believe it's 1,700 euro. Don't quote me on that. I'll have the pricing in my written review. The build quality and everything speaks quality, just absolute quality. It is sexy. It sounds really, really damn good, and I cannot be, let me just put it this way, I cannot be more happy with this speaker. Now, I have to return these, and that is so heartbreaking for me. It is such a wonderful speaker that I may even buy it for myself, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until I get my hands on the 407 or the 409, because those speakers may not need a subwoofer and may be even better because they're floor standards. So who knows? But for now, I can definitely see the benefit of this bookshelf speaker. Now, I'm making this into a rave review right now, I understand. But the reason I'm doing this is because for me to give an award on my channel, and this award has existed for a while now because we've already talked about this, but people don't know because I've never given out the award yet. And this is the first time I'm gonna be giving out this award. This is the next best speaker in our studio. So thank you very much for your viewership. Make sure to subscribe, like, and hit that bell notification button. It really does help us out. So until next time.